Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Abby here. Here you go, you look so beautiful today. So I wanted to just give you this flower because you deserve it. You earned it. You earned it by just being you, and also all of the hard work you do, all of the kindness that comes from your heart, all of the beautiful things about you, and even the non-beautiful deserve this flower. So here you go. Make sure you put that in a vase. And all right, let's get started. Welcome if you are new here, and welcome back if you are old here. I am old here. I am a year older than I was according to last week. Was it last week? I don't even know. When you get older, you lose more sense of time. What is time? Does time really matter? Yes, it does actually. But I try not to focus on it too much, because then we are just out of control. You know, you can't keep track of time with everything. It's nice to let go of time a little bit and just allow time and space to be synonymous, okay? So today, this video is going to be a fun one. If you feel like this is gonna be for you, if you feel like you're not good at anything, how do I find what I'm good at in this life? Like, maybe you grew up with a lot of responsibility early on and you just feel like your identity is tied to more of the things that you have to be more than what you get to choose to be. And sometimes we don't know what we can even choose to be because we haven't been granted that time to do the soul searching and to really find what we're good at. So I want to get into how to find what you are naturally good at or what you can naturally be good at. Really, it's all about your perspective and how you look at it, because if you put enough time and energy into whatever you desire, you actually can be very good at it. Maybe you didn't have the time and space to find what you're good at. Maybe you tried a lot of things and you were always bad at everything. There's many reasons behind these things. And me being a coach, I'm here as your coach, as your bestie, as your big sis, as your fellow goddess, your cosmic companion, and your BFFL. Like, come on now, your favorite YouTuber, hopefully. I'm here to tell you the reservoir of knowledge that I have that I cannot apply always to my own life. It does apply to other people's life, and sometimes really all that's missing within our growth and our awareness is one bit of information. So hopefully I can be a bunch of bits of those information for many of you. That is always my goal. So really, let's just address this first. If you're someone who's never found really what you're naturally good at, either there is something very in particular that you are good at, that you just find yourself drawn to, that you've never given enough time to, it could be that, or you were good at something and something made you not feel like you were good at it, and or something or someone made you feel like you weren't good at something and you stopped doing what you really loved and were good at. There are many scenarios when it comes to passion, finding what you're good at, finding hobbies, finding your life purpose. All of these things can intertwine, and it's really useful to like soul search and find something that you're good at. It's really good for the soul. It's really good for your confidence. It's really good for reaching out into communities and stuff. No one wants to be in a community where they feel like they suck and they are no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to feel like they have a level of feeling really overall good at what you're doing, right? So you shan't belong. It's really easy once you really see it. So first of all, if you grew up and you weren't allowed to really delve yourself into things, like really just melt yourself into anything that you could be good at. Maybe you grew up and your family didn't have a lot of money. Maybe you had a lot of responsibility on your hands and you didn't have a lot of time to play or be creative. Maybe creativity was frowned upon where you come from. Maybe it was just really all work, no play, and that's how you were raised. That has a huge factor in finding what you're good at. Finding what you're good at requires creativity. It requires tapping into it. Many of you that are watching this could be someone, raise your hand right now and being like, well, I'm not creative. I've never been creative. Well, good news for you. Creativity is not something you either have or you don't. It can be something that is stimulated within you. Creativity is really just about like seeing the possibilities with something, the combinations, sitting with yourself, leaving space for something to be created. So if you have a lot of noise in your life and you're always go, 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 and you know the outcome of things, you're very structured, there's just not a lot of room for that in your lifestyle. So you might want to carve out some time to just be creative and try new things. And it can be really hard because I understand. I'm a very much like go, 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 workaholic. I know what I want. I'm going to do this. But in order to have the most effective work be done, the most fulfilling work, it requires creativity and being able to see that in ourselves. So, and the one thing that people get wrong about creativity is it's supposed to look like this or it's supposed to look like that. No. One person's creativity is not going to be what yours is. So really looking at what is my creativity? What do I create when I am in this situation? What can I do? Kind of letting your childlike wonder explore. Really just giving yourself time and space, which can be hard in this busy world. You know, there's always something to be done and needs to be done and needs to be doing, but carving out time just for you to sit and do something that you've always wanted to do, whether that be dancing, music, a sport, maybe just you like to just gaze. Maybe your part of your thing is like you just like to go on a walk and like see all the details you can find in nature. Maybe you're someone who likes to draw. Maybe you're someone who likes to create videos. Maybe you like to take care of things, like be what is it called? Be like a help to those that are creating. Like if you're growing a plant, create is really about creation, like making something, growing something. So whether you're growing a plant and helping the plant create itself, maybe you have animals, maybe you like to clean and rearrange your house in like a unique way. Maybe you like to write and it doesn't have to be for anyone. And that's another thing. Creativity does not have to be for anyone. It doesn't even have to be necessarily for you. You could just do it for absolutely no reason. And I think the more that you can really just be like, I like the look of that. I like seeing other people do this. I feel like I would want to do that. And there are a number of things that you see other people do that you could be like, okay, that's not for me. That's for me. But if you find yourself seeing a form of creation that you just cannot take your eyes off of, that you really just enjoy watching, you might want to try it. When I was growing up, backstory about me, when I was growing up, I think I would have been good at a lot if I was given the time and the space to really focus on that. But I had to grow up really fast and I had to take care of my siblings and the house and my parents. So I didn't really get to stick with anything and I didn't have enough time and space and focus and energy and support to really hone in on something and grow it. So I think having the right environment to be able to create something is important. Just like creation, you need fertile grounds to be creative. So if you're in an environment that kind of sucks the life out of everything, you're not going to be able to have your most powerful creations be formed unless you have a lot of time and space to kind of do your own thing. So I find when you're in very high controlled environments, if you're in a controlling relationship, if you're in controlling, whatever it is, if the environment's very non-creative and controlling and just restrictive, it's going to be hard to create. So for me growing up, I was not able to tap into, I loved volleyball, I loved sports, I loved the idea of being able to sing and to do art and to write, but a lot of times my creative endeavors were not understood and they were kind of like knocked out of my hand. So I wasn't able to really delve myself into this. So growing up, I'm like, I'm not good at anything. Like, why am I not good at anything? And I know there's other people that can probably relate with this, and that's why I'm here, because I have found a number of things that I am very good at. And it was really just about allowing myself the time, the space. And I wasn't creative like that. I failed a lot. I started doing things and it looked really weird at first, or it didn't feel like it did when I finally got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Fluidly. It's gonna feel weird in the beginning. So when I got older, I was working 3 jobs. I tried to be creative. I loved taking care of my fish tank. I loved experimenting with makeup. I've always loved being creative with my outfits. You can even form this if you don't have a lot of time. There's different levels of things you can do depending on your lifestyle to invite some more creativity in. So if you work a lot, when I worked a lot and I didn't really have a lot of resources and time and energy, I would just experiment with my makeup or my hair, or I would, if I could, with my outfits, or I would do take pictures of things that I liked for no reason. Really just inviting that creative eye in, just admiring things. And I think starting with admiring beauty around you, just starting to be open to seeing creation as beautiful, it really starts to spark this inner thing in you where you're like, wow, I can see beauty. If you can see beauty, if you can admire beauty, you can create beauty. I promise you. It might take time. Sometimes we are creatively challenged, okay? And it's totally okay. I think a lot of people are nowadays because we are definitely more in our hustle, have to get this done, to-do list, success it's kind of how the world is a little over here, especially if you are in America. If you're in other countries, I invite you to tell me how it is where you live. Is creativity something that is frowned upon? Wherever you're from, your dynamic, whether you're in a family dynamic, relationships, maybe it's just the community you're in, the culture, not very creative, I don't know. But I know creativity is so healing, and it's something that keeps me excited, it keeps me going, and it definitely changed my life in so many ways, if not saved my life in so many ways, and kept my soul open to furthering along and being more helpful to other people, and just becoming my most favorite self, my higher self, the self that I love to bring and be a source of inspiration for my own self, but for other people. We all want to inspire someone. Inspiring others and giving to others is so fun and so beautiful, but it's hard when you don't really know, and can't feel what you have to give. And some of us find that through creation. So, if you want to be creative, I'm going to get to this next part. I was working a bunch of jobs. I started with makeup, hair, my outfits, and then I started to move into exercise and really looking at what kind of body would I like in a healthy way. Okay, would I like to be more healthy? Get creative in the kitchen, make your food look pretty. Food can be art. Anything could be art if you really would make it art, And I think part of romanticizing your life is really looking at how to be more creative. When you romanticize something, you're adding some creative glam, right? So when you're romanticizing your day, instead of just making some eggs that are plain old eggs, sprinkle a little seasoning on top. Maybe add another little food that looks cute on top. Make a shape out of it. Whatever. It's really just about adding creativity to the situation. Instead of just throwing on the same outfit you wear every week on Monday, maybe change it up. Wear a different outfit. Instead of getting home and scrolling on your phone, even if you suck at it, maybe whip out some paints. Maybe try to make a dessert. Draw a picture. Try to sing a song. Not all of us. I think the misconception with creativity here nowadays is we're seeing so many of the pros online, on our TVs, on our phones, that we don't think that we're worthy of doing the same kind of creativity because we are not good like them. But you don't have to be good at singing to find fulfillment in singing. I love to sing when I'm by myself. And do I sound good all the time? Probably not. I probably sound really crazy sometimes. And I think sometimes I sound really good. It doesn't really matter though, because it's just about that feeling you get when you're creating, when you're really and a lot of us hide away when we're creating because we're we feel vulnerable. It's because it's so powerful. So it's really something I recommend. Well, I didn't think I was ever good at any sport. I was always tired. I didn't get a lot of great sleep growing up because of the way that my household was. Very chaotic. I was very stressed, and I had to take care of my siblings, and taking care of them sometimes required me to be up late at night, and I wasn't able to fully rest. So my natural energy was already low. My health and my wellness was lower. So it's hard to create from a place when you're lower in wellness. I was older, I was working my jobs, I was doing my little creative things. Well, I came across the opportunity to become a exotic dancer, a nightclub dancer, a pole dancer in specific, and I was looking at videos of pole arenas day and night. I'm like, I would love to be able to do that. That is just something I find so beautiful, so cute. I would love myself. Not that I didn't, I guess in a sense I didn't love myself in the same way that I love myself now, but hobbies and creativity are tools to connect deeper with yourself. And for me, pole was a way of connecting deeper with my own capabilities, my own confidence, my own self-love, and my own emotions. So when I got into pole dancing, I was not good. I was self-taught. I watched YouTube videos. I would just practice, and I didn't film most of that first year. The first year I didn't film any of it, which is kind of cool because I wasn't really focused on how I looked. I wasn't really focused on what it would look like to other people. And I wasn't really caught up in getting to this milestone by this time. It was just kind of like, I enjoy this. It's naturally fun for me. Let me just experiment. Let me just do my thing. I watched some videos. I would learn different things, and it was just solely for me, for fun. And I became very good very quickly. And before I knew it, like a year passed, and I was like, oh, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm really good. And I'm taking videos. I'm like, I never knew I looked like that. I thought that I probably looked kind of silly. I never like bridged the gap between like, oh, I've become good. I've become good at this. You know, it was always just like, this feels so fun and I like this and it feels good when I do it. And even if I look crazy, I like the way this feels. So really with creativity is about loving the way that you're expressing yourself and the way that you feel. So I became really good, and I just continue to build off of that. And then once you do know you're good, after that fun time has flown, it becomes something that's like, wow, this is like really fun. And it kind of helps that you're good at it because you're like, oh, I've hit this level where I'm aware that I am capable of this. And it gives you some confidence. Focusing too much on being good at something, like finding your hobby, finding something within your soul you're really good at in life, it can start to become a burden if you are always trying to measure up or feel the exact same way every time you create. So when you start feeling like, I need to be this perfect, I need to feel this way, it needs to look exactly like this, the more you try to structure and confine creativity, the more that you're gonna start to kill it. And sometimes this can happen to people in the early stages if you're not as free as with yourself as I was in the early stages of me pole dancing. I think because I was so free with it, free with myself, non-restrictive, I didn't really have too many tight goals around it. It allowed me to bloom how I needed to bloom in my craft, you know? So I think it's important to just allow yourself to unfold how you will with what you're doing. So yeah, I became good at that. And I always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I mean, I was always told that I didn't know how to speak. My life was a mess. My mindset was a mess. Like, I didn't know what I was talking about. So I didn't place a lot of value in what I really loved and valued early on. But as I became older and I gave myself a chance at YouTube, although I'm not super big or successful in the way that a lot of the pros are, I did not let the comparison to the pros keep me from valuing what really makes me feel expressive, helpful, creative, and just like putting out my version of how I feel like I love to give, and also just like release things. Like, creativity is a release, and it's about taking what could be a disaster of a release and channeling into things that feel beautiful to you, that make you feel good. Creative is confidence. It is a very huge part of confidence, and it's a huge part of resilience. Creativity, problem solving, it'll really very much help the more structural parts of your life. So it is something I highly recommend just like getting into and tapping into within yourself. And then hence we are here. If you want to go look at my very first videos on this channel, a lot of them are not very good. And I mean, some of them have really good information, or I'm like reflecting and having realizations, but they're not like the best expressed version of myself. It was the best for that time, But when I'm looking back, I was like, I was holding back a lot and I was nervous about expressing this way. There was times I didn't feel good enough to be doing what I was doing, and I did hold myself back. And I was still practicing being fully expressed in my creativity, and I kept going. You have to go through that process of, I don't even think it's ugliness, but for the sake of just looking at the process and labeling it, that ugliness, that, you know, that less harnessed creativity within, and me attempting to work towards this current moment where I am now. Like, and to others, this may not look like, oh, you don't have 500,000 to 1 million subscribers. So what is, are you really that creative or successful? I mean, if we're looking at a goal, if we're looking at more the structural aspect, the non-creative aspect, yeah, I'm not exactly up there in numbers. But when it comes to the progress, the growth, the journey that I've been on personally, I am a fully expressed, or as close to it as I've ever been in my life, creator. And I'm very tapped into my own creativity, and it's coming out on this platform in the way that I feel the most proud and confident of myself creating. And are all my videos perfect? No, I show up on days that I'm not feeling good, that I'm not feeling as great and radiant, because it's something that's important for us to thrive and live. Fun fact, creativity directly affects our hormones. When you're not feeling good, when you're feeling very and you feel like a lot is happening to you, like you're just absorbing a lot around you, it's really important to put out stuff. It's important to expand your aura. It's important for your energy, your well-being, to fully expand your energy into something, to put something out into the world. Even if it's in private, like even if you're just by yourself working on something, you're still giving. And I'm going to talk about this in an upcoming femininity video about really the art of giving and really being a fully expressed higher self and goddess. It's really about giving and projecting, and not projecting in a sense like toxic argumentative projecting. It's about projecting your gifts, the things that you value about yourself, valuing your own gifts, your own thoughts, your own creativity, your own form of expression, whether that is your looks, your thoughts, your mind, your spiritual energy, your insights, what you like to do with your body, whether that's your hands, you're creating something, whether you're dancing, whether you're singing, talking, smiling, making expressions, acting. It's all a form of releasing energy into powerful channeled ways. And it actually has an effect on our hormones. When we create, we become more hormonally balanced. And those healthy hormones that we like to hack for like fitness and well-being and success and feeling good actually directly come from creativity as well. So if you want to be healthier, if you want to be happier, if you want to have more confidence, if you want to be more connected to your higher self, if you want to tap more into your goddess feminine energy, if you want to just have more resilience in life, you want to have better problem solving skills. A lot of times I'll paint even when I feel like crap, and I don't even paint that well. Like, I have a lot of things I like to do to just be creative for no reason, because it keeps my brain ticking. When I do something creative, even if I'm not good at it, my problem solving skills the next day are on 10. Even when your creation, your art gets frustrating, keep going, because those little problem solving things you're doing while you're painting, while you're dancing, is actually going to translate into your logical life. So creativity is super important for internal resilience, for intelligence. So much of the logical world, that a lot of people in that logical world don't value creativity as much. It's important. So I just want to tell you. So if anyone ever tells you your creativity is a waste of time, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing something more realistic, more logical, more rewarding monetarily or by numbers or whatever. Don't listen to that, because you are internally investing in yourself when you are creative. So, okay, so really what I have for you guys is, I hope all of that was insightful, but we're gonna get into, first, you must try and pick new things to experiment with. Pick things that have always appealed to you. If you don't know what appeals to you, try anything. And within reason. Like I'm saying be creatively safe, okay? Don't go do something off the wall and then be like, Abby on Goddess Universally told me to do that to be more creative. No, if you are responsible for your own well-being, okay? Your own safety. I'm just saying, if you see all these different art forms, like anything like a sport, you see the arts, the theater, you like different things, go try it, go take a class. Or if you don't have time, money, resources, a car to go get to a class, you can start with your own self, you can go out in nature and find things to create with, no matter your circumstance. No matter your circumstance or what you have access to, there is always a way to be creative. So when you're outside, if you don't have anything, like you have nothing to do at your house, it's empty, go outside and go and just start creating things with nature around you. Draw a picture in the dirt, use chalk, create something with flower petals, grass, with branches, build a fort. Like, if you had nothing, you could still find ways to be creative. Start moving your body, dance, go find a safe place to go and express yourself. Like I said, safe, this is like one of those warnings, a disclaimer. You are responsible for finding a creative, safe space to express yourself, because a creative space that is safe is also a priority. When it comes to random creations, I have a flower wall. I glued a bunch of moss on there. It was very frustrating. It took forever. And I just started buying flowers. I put a bunch in there, and because real flowers didn't work for me. And it's just about continuing to create beauty in your life, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't look very optimal. You know what I'm saying? Choosing to still be creative, be beautiful, see beautiful, regardless. Spontaneity is so important in creation. Creation is unplanned. It is chaotically unknown. It's the unseen. It's about bringing things that are not exactly concrete or real on this physical plane, bringing them from your thoughts, your energy, and putting it into something, creating something physical. So part of creation is not supposed to be predictable. It's supposed to be unpredictable. So, sometimes when it comes to painting or recreating something, don't get too caught up if you're going to use your phone or if you're going to use something like it to compare to. Don't get too caught up in making things look exactly like how you learned them. As a coach, some of the best coaches and teachers in the world do not want you to exactly replicate their way. They want you to absorb it and use it well, but they want you to make your own thing out of it. They don't want you to copy and paste. And I'm also going to have a video about that as well, about copy and pasting personalities. Every personality, every form of expression is important. So creativity is not just about recreating something exactly. Like, I will pull up a picture to paint, right? And I will start to get caught up. I'm like, oh, it's not looking like that. I want it to look like that. We want to know that we're capable of creating something beautiful, and not so much about it being exactly like someone else. We think we want that because it's something that has been approved or it comes up on the internet as one of the best. So we're like, we want to feel like that. But you don't have to, because you can actually create something different from what you're seeing and still be right up there. Or not. And it could still be fun. It could still be beautiful. It could be still useful. I have a wall over here, and I have a couple paintings, that one and that one. And I'm telling you right now, they're really pretty. They're cute. Like, they have their own abstract vibe, but they look nothing like the original picture. And was I frustrated about that a little bit at first? Yeah. But then I started to realize, like, if you didn't compare them, you would never know that they didn't look like that. And for me, not being a professional painter, that is pretty darn good. So we need to stop comparing ourselves to the professionals. That's the next tip, because a hobby, creativity is supposed to be fully expressed. It's not supposed to be perfect. Perfect is a lot about restrictions. It's about predictability. It's about, this is what this looks like, and I want it to look exactly like this. That is called producing. That is not creative. You can be creative while producing something, but if you're just straight conveyor belt trying to reproduce something exactly how, you're like on a production scale, it's like a factory. You're giving factory vibes, okay? Creativity is not supposed to be factory vibes, okay? It's supposed to be like internal world unhinged into what I'm doing. No one is 100% naturally good at anything. Everyone who looks like a natural at anything either practiced since they were born, which still entails the word practice, or they started doing something when they were older and they let it consume them, and they're literally still doing it now. And it's about precision. Some people could practice something forever and their heart is not in it, and they don't actually practice effectively. If like you have a goal to be the best at something, you have to follow somewhat of a plan while you're being creative. Like if you have a goal around your creativity, you know, you're gonna have to have a precise plan of how you're going to practice, okay? That's gonna be like a more direct thing. If you're someone who's been doing something for years and you have been unhinged, you've been creative and stuff, and you're still not like where other people are, like I'm telling you, if you had the same structure of like, I want to be like this in this amount of time, and you had enough time to put that direct, precise practice in, you probably would get there, because there's all this micro knowledge within learning something that is so useful for becoming the best or being naturally good at anything. When I became really good at pole dancing, people thought I'd been in gymnastics my whole life. People thought I'd been in dance my whole life. Absolutely not. I was only a pole dancer for about a year and a half, and people thought I was like this professional gymnast. No, I just put in an insane number of hours into my craft and became really good at it because I was just putting so much time into practicing and being creative and having fun with it. And I happened to still follow a plan of what other people were saying, like, this is how you execute this move. This is how you do this. This is how to not hurt yourself, okay? And I applied those things while being creatively on my own, and I became really good. And people were like, you're just such a natural. No, I put an insane amount of hours in work and bruises and, you know, just pure exhaustion into becoming that good. It was not, oh, you're a natural, okay? Just know, if anyone's like, oh, some people are just more naturally good at, okay, well, maybe if we're really honing in on like a certain sport and a certain body type and a certain, you know what I'm saying? Like, there could be an argument around that, but I'm just saying, even then, you could be gifted with the best case scenario and you still have to practice to be good. And also, if you want to exceed what you naturally can do, which is a true achievement, that still takes practice. So don't be hard on yourself. Having the space, having the time, having set aside valued time and space where you take the time to value becoming good at something, that will be so important in having growth in anything. I think having the time, taking the time out to practice things that you truly love is just such a beautiful thing to do for yourself. It almost becomes like an honorable thing and like a ritual, like a ceremonial thing where you just sit and you appreciate the more creative and not perfect sides of you. Like, you can take this and dedicate like a portion of your own self-love in creating this. Like, you can be intentional with it. You can be like, you know, just like I mentioned in a video, if you struggle with self-love and like really valuing your own life, valuing yourself, getting a plant and naming it after yourself and taking care of it and speaking life into it, it's gonna be something that actually has effect in other areas of your life as you're doing that thing. So when it comes to creating, you can actually make this without even making it intentionally about this. It will benefit other areas of your life because you can't help it. When you're absorbing something, when you're creating something, it's affecting the way that we think and the way that we're wired. So regardless if you intentionally want it to help your life or not, it will, but you can be even more intentional with it and dedicate this practice to loving portions of yourself that you have a hard time valuing. Maybe you have to be so logical and structured all the time that when it comes to being creative, you have a hard time with it because you're not really allowed to value that part of you in life because you're so busy or you have so many obligations and responsibilities that you sometimes start to not like the more unexpected sides of yourself, your emotions, the way that you express. Maybe you have a hard time making time for really important things that have to just do with connection and intimacy. A lot of these things can lead back to having a hard time accepting creativity or being creative or finding places to channel that. And that's a huge, like I said, that's a huge part of tapping into your creative energy, your higher self, and actually valuing and trusting that part of yourself, because we all have two sides. We have the yin and the yang. We have the masculine, the feminine. We have the dark, the light. And part of that creativity is tapping into the unknown, the unseen, and really trusting that although you can't exactly see exactly how things are going to turn out, that you still trust yourself and you trust the process. It's about having faith overall. Trusting that even though you don't have a concrete thing in front of you and you don't have all this structure, that you're still going to create something beautiful and with intention. So yeah, I can't express enough. I am just like so deep in this. I'm trying to get so deep into this topic and get to like the utmost roots of it, because it's something that a lot of people think creativity is a luxury, and it should not be a luxury. We should all have like at least an hour a day to pour into some form of creativity. And for you, that could be like reading books or flipping through pictures or tarot cards, or like you like looking at the pictures, you like flipping through and, you know, being open to what comes to you. And I think that's like part of what creativity is. It's a huge way to also manifest and open yourself to blessings, is because you just open yourself to the possibilities. And when you open yourself to the possibilities, you tend to get way more than you could have ever imagined and planned for. So yes, creativity is cool all the way. We should be doing that more. Just to shake it up a little bit, okay? Shake it up like this little globe, you know? It's like you are in a snow globe that is not flurrying around. It's like all the sparkles have settled, and creativity is really just about going from this, you know, and shaking it up and letting the whirlwind of cleanse and nourish you, and allow yourself to see new perspectives of the shiny things in life, okay? And yeah, it's just so beautiful. Like, allow yourself to experience this sometimes. I think we forget, and it does suck the fun out of life. Creativity equals fun. Creativity equals like unplanned, fun, safe chaos, okay? Could be borderline dangerous. I'm just kidding. That's why I have a leather jacket, is to channel that dangerous energy into, okay? Like, I don't want to actually go do something dangerous. I'm just gonna look dangerous, okay? I hope all of you beautiful beings love this video as much as I did making it. And I don't know, if this does something for you, if you go out and create something, please share it with me. Whether you email it to me or you post it in the comments. I don't know if you're allowed to post pictures in the comments. Some apps you are. But go and create something, and I'm excited for you, okay? I just already know this is gonna help you so much. This is gonna be a key to something special in your heart, in your life, and I just can't wait to see if you don't show me what you create or how you create, at least tell me what do you think it's done for you internally, to where you showed up a little differently the next day, or when you went to go do something after you were creative, what that did for you, you know? I just would love to hear about it. So thank you all for watching. They say this in a lot of other YouTube videos, and I'm about to say it, okay? Most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, and you guys keep coming back to watch my videos. So if you have seen one video and you really loved it, you're like, I love this channel, subscribe. If you have seen more than one of my videos, whether you like it or not, whether you liked my videos or not, if you keep coming back to watch my videos, you are subscribing. Go subscribe right now, because if you're coming back, there must be something you like over here. And I would love to be readily available in your timeline for you to keep coming back, so you don't have to keep searching me up in the search bar, so you don't have to wait until I post a link. If you're from social media, I understand, because they bring you to the YouTube channel and sometimes they don't bring you into your own account, so they won't let you subscribe. But if you take the extra time to do that, I swear, I'm sending prayers out to everyone, blessings to everyone, that whether I know it or not, if you subscribe, you will be blessed. You will be blessed. I'm sending you direct prayers from myself, me, myself, and I. The more that you guys like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell and just comment, interact with my stuff, it really inspires me to keep going and keep making more stuff. But without it, I'm still here. I'm still showing up with or without it, but I get even more amped when you guys are amped. So please comment, please subscribe, and please like the video, because I also want to know what you think. If you don't like the video, if you do not give it a thumbs up, tell me what you didn't like then, okay? Tell me what you didn't like. Try to tell me what you like, but if you absolutely could not find one thing you liked about my video, then tell me what's wrong. What's the problem? I'm here. I am here to listen, okay? If it's something that's like not a real problem though, and you're just making fun of me, you're gonna get your comment deleted. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Or if it's really funny, I'll leave it. If it's really funny, I'll leave it. But other than that, like, if you're mean, you're out of here. You're one strike, you're out. That's how we do it over here. But thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure having you. And don't forget your flowers. And have a good, beautiful day. Wait 1 second. I almost forgot to pull our cards. Okay, I forgot to pull our cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Pick a card. The goddess of nature. You reap what you sow. Your dream is coming into fruition. So if you watch this is a good sign you're on the right track to your dreams, especially if you're a creative or you're getting into some sort of creation. And nature is the mother of creation. She is a mother of creation. So this is a good sign. And also, when you're putting into something, when you're giving to something, you always reap what you sow. And this is a good one for this, because as you add and give to a creation, it will grow. It is bound to grow whether you like it or not. So just know that, trust that. Let me read this really quick. Okay, the goddess of nature, your dream is coming to fruition. This is a time to reap the rewards and the benefits that are derived from the seeds of a project, venture, or idea that you've planted some time ago. It's not all been plain sailing, and many a time you have doubted whether your efforts and labor would ever be rewarded. Yet harvest time has come, a time where you reap what you've sown, accept all the blessings about to come your way, and realize that they are a result of the love, courage, and dedication and commitment you have shown in the recent past. Give thanks to Mother Nature and enjoy. Yes, that courage, that devotion, that dedication, you will get the blessings. You will. There's no doubt about it. It might take some time, because we all have our own process and we are all different children of the divine, okay? And we all have our own relationship with the divine, and they want us to learn certain things before we get certain things, okay? So don't doubt your process just because it didn't look like someone else's and you didn't get it when other people got it. If I would have doubted it and I would have listened, I would not be here. Because a lot of people give up on YouTube after like posting 10 videos and still being at 10 subscribers, okay? You gotta be in it for the long haul. You gotta be devoted. I am a committed cosmic companion of your guys. I am not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. You can try to scare me away and I'm still gonna be here. So, okay, that's all for today. I hope you liked the card. Let me know if it resonated, and bye.